What's up, gang? My name's Jason, and I just finished a 30-minute tempo run. And while I was out doing this workout, it got me to thinking about how many people skip the tempo run or any other kind of speed work. And I think it's mainly because it's such a misunderstood aspect of marathon and half marathon training. So in today's video, I'm going to take a few minutes to explain what the tempo run is, how you do it, and how it can add value to your next training session. But first, I'm gonna run inside, I'm gonna get cleaned up, and I will meet you on the other side. All right, here we go. If we're just meeting, my name is Jason Nelson, and in 2014, I weighed over 245 pounds. My passion is helping adults over 40 embrace a healthy lifestyle. So if you hear something in this video you like, make sure you destroy the like button down below. So let's talk about tempo runs. I see on social media too many people skipping tempo runs, and I think it's because we don't really understand them. A tempo run is a cornerstone to marathon training. It forces our bodies to adapt. That adaptation results in running faster and longer. Tempo runs are mentally tough. They get us ready for the choice we made to run 26.2 miles. So why are tempo runs so important? The goal of a tempo run is to increase our lactate threshold. So what is our lactate threshold? Well, here's the non-nerdy explanation. When we're running, glucose, think of like gasoline for a car, is broken down and eventually turned into lactate. Think of gasoline turning into fuel to make the car go. This is a natural process. But the problem is that our bodies can only process so much lactate at once, and our body's ability to process lactate is what defines our lactate threshold. So what does our body need to process the lactate? Oxygen. And when we don't have enough oxygen, our body can't keep up and flush out the lactic acid, which is a byproduct of too much lactate. So now the question becomes, if oxygen is what's needed to flush out the lactate, and we're clearly running on a shortage of oxygen, then how do we increase the amount of oxygen in our bodies? Well, we can't. We can, however, teach our bodies how to manage oxygen better. And that's where tempo runs become so important. Like I said earlier, they force or teach our bodies to adapt specifically to oxygen management. In a tempo run, we run at a pace that's faster than our marathon pace, but not a sprint. It's actually a very delicate process because you want to consistently bump into that lactate threshold in a tempo run, but not go over it. When we go over the threshold, we burn our muscles out too quickly and too soon, which makes the rest of the training run inefficient. Another key factor of a good tempo run is not making the entire run a tempo run. The best and most efficient strategy is to start off with a solid warm-up and then do your tempo work in intervals. If you only do one interval that lasts for 30 minutes, start and end with some easy running. But ideally, you would do multiple intervals in a training session and then try to slightly increase your pace with each interval, which will slightly raise your threshold. Think of it like nailing a nail into a piece of wood. Most likely you wouldn't just whack it in one shot and get the nail to the depth you want. No, you hit the nail multiple times, and with each hit, the nail goes further. Picture that concept with your lactate threshold. Each interval, you're tapping that threshold a little further, but more importantly, you're teaching your body how to manage oxygen better. So basically, tempo runs change your body on the cellular level. And when we change on the cellular level, that makes us more willing to smash the like button down below, which is pretty cool to me. So your next question is probably, what pace should you run a tempo run at? Well, it's a pace that feels comfortably hard. A pace that you'd really rather slow down, but you can keep going. So what is comfortably hard? One test I like to use is the Pledge of Allegiance test. If I can recite the Pledge of Allegiance without much effort, I'm going too slow. If I struggle to get one word out at a time, I'm going too fast. But if I can get a few words out at a time between breaths, that's just about the right pace I need to be going. If you're the type of person that needs hard numbers to determine your tempo pace, a good rule of thumb is to take your 5K race and add 30 to 40 seconds per mile. Or if you've raced in a 10K, that's a perfect tempo pace for most runners. And beginning runners would add 10 to 20 seconds to their 10K race pace. Now remember how I said earlier that you'll get the best results by doing multiple intervals in a single training session, and then trying to get faster with each interval? Okay, so how long should each interval be? If you're just starting off and you don't have a training plan yet, a good rule of thumb is to do 3 intervals in a single session, and each interval should be 10 to 20% of your overall session length. So for instance, if you're doing a 30-minute session, you want to do 3 intervals at 3 to 6 minutes each, with 1 to 2 minute breaks between each interval of easy jogging. The rest of your time is warm up and cool down at an easy pace. And why 3 intervals? Well, that's where the mental game comes into play. Your first interval is the one where you feel like you can do anything. The second one is the one that hurts because you may have gone too fast in the first one, and you still have one more after this one. But the last one is where you really don't have anything left, but you've learned from the first 2 and can see the finish line up ahead. If you didn't start out too fast, your third interval should be your fastest one. Any good marathon training plan is going to have at least 1 long run, 2 easy runs, and 1 to 2 speed runs like a tempo run. All of these runs are important, but the tempo run is the one that has the most impact in the least amount of time. If you can stay consistent with your tempo runs, you will see your speed get faster over time and see your endurance increase over time. I hope you found this video helpful. If so, you may also like this video as well. So click on the stream to keep watching. Also, don't forget to join the Over 40 Fitness community by subscribing to this channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. Until we see each other again, be good to yourself and someone else.